David DeRoche is a professor at the National Defense University, and he joins us live now from Washington, D.C. Welcome to the programme. Is this a case, then, of a preemptive strike from Donald Trump, considering the Houthis threatened to resume their attacks against cargo ships in the Red Sea?
It could be. I think, though, that he probably came into office with the idea that there was going to be that this situation was unsustainable, that we couldn't sit by and let one of the major shipping lanes of the world be tied up like this. So we're not sure yet, and it may be that there was a missile launched at a U.S. ship. All of those, I think, are adequate reasons in his own mind for doing this. And I don't think he'll pay much of a domestic price for this. We'll see how effective the military operations were.
OK, and David, the Houthis, though, saying that the US president is overstating the danger to international shipping. What do you make of that?
I think that's clearly incorrect. I mean, no U.S. ships have been able to transit the Bab el-Mandeb without a U.S. naval escort. Those are wartime conditions, so it's not a safe not a safe place for any shipping. The Houthis have taken it upon themselves to choose who can transit international waters and who can't. And a nation that is a seafaring nation, which the United States is, don't tell my buddies in the Army, we can't abide by those conditions. It also has a knock-on effect on some of our partners, particularly Egypt, which, they are so reliant on Suez Canal transit fees, and those have fallen to almost zero. So I think that this will be viewed by the U.S. and its partners as a fight worth having.
Yeah, and you said that Trump won't suffer internally for this decision. What about his party, then? He's not afraid of upsetting anybody there, is he, where perhaps Biden, as something a weaker leader, perhaps was?
Yeah, so President Biden really sort of held back, and we'll have to see exactly what these strikes hit. But when you read the press releases from Central Command during the Biden administration, they were clearly lawyered to say this was a limited strike in response to a direct attack on U.S. people. It was basically to avoid triggering a debate within the Democratic Party on the War Powers Act and whether there should be a vote on actually, having a resolution of war against the Houthis. I think that President Trump isn't as concerned about that. And so in his remarks, and it's always, you may not want to take them literally, but he said that he was targeting Houthi leaders, for example. That hasn't happened before. So there may be an expansion of the target set, which might have more of a deterrent effect on the Houthis than a strict retaliation against missile launch facilities, as we saw under President Biden.
Yeah, and I just wanted to ask you, David, what do you think will happen next? Do you think the Houthis will now retaliate?
Well, I think that they'd have to if they want to maintain any level of credibility. So the Houthi leadership last week tweeted out that they were going to take action within 4 days. I think that, for them to just sit back and say, oh, well, I guess we lost, given the fact that they do not control all of Yemen, that they're not viewed as the legitimate government of Yemen, their source of legitimacy comes from portraying themselves as the leaders of the resistance against the international order. And so I think that, they won't abdicate that mantle easily or lightly.
OK, David DeRoche, professor at the National Defense University, we really appreciate your time and your expertise.
Thank you.